Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Yvonne from GingerChickRehab. I am so glad to have you back checking out what me and Chris are up to today. So in today's video, Chris is making noodle boards. This is an item that I have actually wanted. I have a glass top stove, you know, sometimes it gets dirty and you need to clean it and you don't have time. So one of these boards to set over your glass top stove would be nice until you have time to scrub it, or just another place to add decor. So yes, I asked him if he would be so kind if I found some inspiration pictures on Pinterest. Oh, that's a tongue twister. And so I just shared them with him, figuring out what the dimensions were, and yep, there he goes. He just made them for me. So not only did he make me one, but we're also going to make another one and to see if it's something that would actually sell in our retail booth. You just never know if somebody's out there looking for it. And when I'm thinking back to what others sell and the area that we're at, I can't think of anybody that sells these, so we'll see how it goes. So it looks as if you can think it, you can build it. Yep, go ahead. There's many different variations of this. Some with added handles, some with handles that are carved in, some, yes, but the general is that they are all wood. And for the one that Chris is going to make for me, he is just using pieces of pallet wood because that goes with my decor. Other things in our house that he has made are pallet wood, and then I definitely love the rustic and the variation of the wood. Now, even though he can purchase the pallet wood through where he works, it's already disassembled. He doesn't have to take a pallet apart. Whew, blessing there. But now what he's going to do is he's going to cut off that uneven edge. They're never meant to be squared and flat, and they're as rustic as you can get. So that's what he's doing. He's going to run a lot of the boards through the table saw. Well, all the boards through the table saw to make sure that that edge where they meet up to each other is nice and straight. And now all he did was measure the size of what our stovetop was. I'm sure there are a general size, but then again, there's just a world of appliances out there. So there's a general size, but I'm sure there's some that are just off. So hopefully when we make one, somebody's buying it for the general size. So yes, so now he's just making sure that it is the size appropriate to what we need for our stove. So now to give it just a little bit more of a finished look, because the pallet wood is definitely a raw wood, even though he's squared it all up to match up, the top of it's still pretty raw. So he's going to go in with just a piece of pine and strengthen that up. So where he's going to be able to place those handles is going to be a little bit stronger of a wood. Now some Titebond glue to glue it down, making sure that it's going to be good and attached. We don't want this falling apart because this is definitely something that's going to get moved a lot on and off one stove. Then after making it sure that it was all squared up, he's going to go ahead and brad nail it together. Now that he has the boards all in place, they're secure, they're butted up against each other nice and tight, he's going to go in with the sander and try to get them a little bit more smooth. Now, we didn't pre-sand these before putting them together. Now, when it comes to pallet wood, the likelihood of it all going to be one flush, probably not, but this is the look that I like, and I don't mind that it's not going to be level. For me personally, it'll be close enough, but having something snag on it, I definitely wanted to have the sander to make the pieces nice and smooth, that nobody's going to get a splinter, or if you do use, for whatever reason, some type of a tablecloth, a little napkin or something, that the fabric's not going to get snagged on it. This part is a personal choice. As you saw in the pictures from Pinterest, the world, oh my gosh, you can do whatever you want. So Chris is putting a back on this. That way it has something to go back against the stove, controls itself, but you don't have to. You can just make it flat if you want to. So how many of my regular viewers use the antiquing wax watered down mixture to stain? I absolutely love it and find that I don't go a lot for regular stains anymore when it comes to craft pieces like this. This just stains this raw wood perfectly. I needed to make up a new batch because I go through a lot of it. Chris said I need a bigger jar. So I do water in a small pickle jar, a 1/4 cup of the antiquing wax, and a spoonful of the ink paint, Waverly chalk paint, and that is my mixture. I like that the ink kind of tones down that red that sometimes the Waverly gets, and if I want it to be a little bit darker after I get this watered down mixture, I can go back in, but when it comes to this really raw wood, it just soaks it in. So if I've already got it too dark, it's a little bit hard to take it off. Can you see why I love palette wood so much? Look at how after it's stained, all that different character that each board has. And then I'm going back in with just a paintbrush and a little bit of the stain to get those nail holes, which I consider character also, that I absolutely love. It's a personal preference, and it's what I love. After I've let that dry, you can tell that that newer wood took that stain differently. I love what the base is doing, but I'm going in with the straight antiquing wax on that newer wood just to have it match a little bit more. The palette wood seems to be a lot more dry than this new piece of wood. Now for the one that he's going to make to try to sell, to see how they sell in our booth or not, to keep these on hand, the only other item Chris makes is ladders and then benches when he has time and I'm not thrifting them. But yes, the other thing that we keep on hand that we make that he makes all the time are ladders. So we'll see how these noodle boards go. Now I've thrifted and sold similar ones, and they've always sold real well. Now I did put words on those and I don't think they sold as fast, so that's why I'm choosing not to do any words on these today. So don't worry about any stenciling coming up soon. So yes, this is newer wood. It's just straight, just pine. Now for this one, he's going to do that same backing like he did on the one that we're going to keep, but he wants to go ahead and give it an angle. So he's just making a pencil mark where it is matching up with the sides where the handles are going to be, and then working his way up, deciding on which type of angle he wants to achieve. Then I'm going to do that same watered down stain mixture on this, and it's always amazing to me with this watered down Waverly mixture how different each wood takes. So I'm going to go ahead and use the antiquing wax over this entire board because it's just turning out really too light. But I was good with that. I'd rather have that control. It's easier to darken it up than it is to lighten it, especially on raw wood like this. Now, because I put that Waverly wax mixture on it, I'm comfortable spraying polycrylic my top coat on, at least for the first coat, but I usually will end up doing it for all of it. And so this is really going to soak it in. It's going to keep that stain in place where it needs to be, and it's going to seal and protect this. And I like to do at least 2 coats, and then in between the second and the third coat, I will steel wool it, because that polycrylic will bring that grain. It'll feel rough and bumpy, and then I'll go in with my third coat to finish it off. But yep, I'll steel wool the whole thing. That raises that grain. It won't feel smooth, but once you take some fine grit steel wool to it, it'll smooth that down. Before applying that third coat, I definitely want to make sure that I get all that sanding residue, any of that steel wool kind of just disintegrates as you're using it. So I'm using our air compressor to make sure that there's none stuck anywhere, and especially in the corners. We ended up only having one matching set of handles that were size appropriate to use on these noodle boards, so got impatient waiting for my Amazon order to come, because it's Christmas time and it's taking, anyway. So we did find this one silver set at our local TSC store, so yep, gonna get it a spray coat of black. These did come in time. These are from Amazon. They're just little rubber feet. They just screw into the bottom of these boards. That way it prevents the board from the wood and the board just itself being on top of your stove. You have some little feet to rise it up. If you're like me that thinks color matters, yep, they also come in black. So now we can put these handles on and we can finish up these noodle boards. Now, does anybody know why they call these a noodle board and not just a stove top tray? I always think it's funny what some of the names for things are. Me, I would just call it a stove top tray. So what did you think? I know I'm in the same spot, but so what did you think? Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love it. I love Papa Wood. Oh, anytime I can add a Papa Wood in with my black and white, I am happy as a lark, and it's going to cause me to have to repaint my cabinet doors. So that'll be my one of my winter projects is repainting my cabinets. But absolutely love it. Another place to add decor. Feel safe having a candle on there. And yes, so let me know, is this something that you've made before? Is this something that you resell? Or have you, like me, always wanted one yourself? So I hope that I didn't think they were too difficult, actually. I'm not the one that was cutting, but I didn't think they were too difficult to make. So, and there's a lot of little variations, and yes, you could put words on them. I am not an overly word person, so I'd rather just keep something on the plainer side. A little bit of wording to me goes a long way, but that's just that's personal. Yep, taste is personal. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let me know if I inspired you in any way, or if Chris inspired you in any way in making a noodle board for yourself. So thanks for watching today's video, guys, and if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. Your kind words, your kind comments, just sharing your tips, I absolutely love them, and giving that big like, that thumbs up, lets YouTube know that you like this kind of content. And if you're new and you're checking out our channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.